all that talking and I had my mic turned off. I hope y'all enjoyed the peace and quiet. Good morning, Mr. Lee. Yes, you were first. Uh, Dolly, yeah, I finally, I was keeping too close an eye on the background noise here before the show started, and I didn't want to accidentally start it and have the mic on. Mr. Lee, you were indeed first. And let me just quickly go over uh, today in music history, June the 30th, 1984. Fantasia Barrino was born in High Point, North Carolina. After she won American Idol, I think it was the third season, she moved to the big city of Charlotte, North Carolina. In 1973, George Harrison's song Give Me Love took the number one spot on our charts. And I'm pretty sure he knocked off Paul McCartney and Wings because they were huge in 73. And in 1917, Miss Lena Horne is born in Brooklyn, New York. I remember seeing Lena sing on television when I was a kid. She was elegant. I know. I tell everybody I'm an amateur. See, you have to believe me. uh, Let me move the coffee here real quick. Eka, good morning, good afternoon for you. Absolutely, he did. He kind of got nudged out. I mean, when you're competing with Paul McCartney and John, listen to me. When you're competing with Paul McCartney, though, oh my goodness, that he was probably one of the most prolific songwriters in history. And John Lennon was no slouch. I bet you, even off the screen, just in her workplace, Miss Eka is straightening her hair. Right, Eka? Miss Eka is one of those worker bees. She is always uh, working. She is a very smart young lady. Mr. Lee, I totally agree with you. When that song came out and I saw the music video on MTV, back when MTV actually played music, yes, I like the Beatles. I like the Beatles. I like the songs that George and Paul did after the Beatles. And let me tell you, females were crazy about Paul McCartney in the 70s. Absolutely, Mr. Lee. We're going to be close to 90. Well, at least you got hair to cut. I have very little hair to cut. We're going to be around 34, 33, 34 for the next several days, and we might get up close to about 37, 38, Mr. Lee. All right, let's see here. All right. All right, Miss Eacock. Thank you. You always do such a good job. Kathy Bates, good morning. Well, I'm still going to say hi to you, Kathy. That's just too bad. Uh, Look at that. Well, I got to tweak it a little bit. 21 is about 70 degrees to us. The magic 8 ball is almost working. I need to get that out. Dee. All right. Kathy, I was jumping hoops to just, I was just jumping hoops to correct my mistakes this morning. Let's see if it still works. Nope. I gotta work on that. Dun, 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 dun. Mr. Lee, woman I dated a few years back was redhead, and she could not tan. And come summertime, she was not happy with me. She would put on SPF 100. We'd go out in the sun for an hour or two. We'd come back in. I'd be brown, and she'd be just red, red. Oh, you are welcome. You know, when I visit you guys, I usually end up uh, a lot of times I have to put the phone on the charger and just listen while I'm working around the house. but I'm in your live streams more than you probably know. Except for Kathy. Kathy doesn't do too many live streams. She gets up on the panel with Mike, and she's in chat a lot. Easy home cooking. Hello. Thank you. I like that name. Easy home cooking. And everybody, remember, if you want to share your channel, just type exclamation ME. I checked out Easy Home Cooking's page. I think I just gained half a pound looking at the Easy Homes page. Definitely a cooking channel. Kathy, have you had your coffee this morning? Well, you need to get that butler on the move. Is the butler sleeping in this morning? I didn't see, well, I didn't have time to visit any channels this morning. I got up, put the coffee pot together, got my camera on the back porch. This morning, I didn't have my first cup until just a little after 6. But one day last week, I had, Ecot, you have a good day, and I hope that haircut goes well. Yeah, I wish I could drink green tea, but I can't have tea. Well, Kathy, that's so nice you gave the butler a day off. Yeah, I totally understand, Mr. Lee. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you, Easy Home Cooking. I appreciate you. Uh, Easy Home Cooking, you're in India, is that correct? I was saying hat tip to Kirk Hammett today. Uh, Kurt uh, is in the band Metallica. They were performing somewhere in Europe about a week ago, and I found out last night. And Kurt had on a shirt that turned Taylor Swift into a almost demonic image, like the black eyed kids. Uh, the whites of her eyes were blacked out and no color. And he said that she was a 3-letter alphabet uh, asset. So, hat tip to Kirk. And Mr. Lee, that sounds great. Uh, in the summertime, as hot as it gets, I try to do anything I can, either in a microwave or on a grill, so that I'm not heating up the house. To me, it's silly to heat up the house just to run the AC to cool it back down. Mr. Lee, do you ever listen to I think it's Nifty Radio there in the London area? Yeah, got to use Coles. Uh, I'm pretty sure it's Nifty Radio. And Mr. Lee, you said Led Zeppelin playing in Ireland at the moment. Do you mean like a movie, or there was a guy, Gavin on the Go on Nifty Radio from, I think he comes on at 3 or 4 your time, and he's on for a few hours. He's a comic for sure. He's not a clown with a red nose, but he is a comic for sure. I think I hear Flyby Charlie in the background. Mr. Lee, see here in the States, it takes us so long to drive from place to place. I end up listening to the radio quite a bit. And uh, when I get to the end of the driveway, sometimes I lose cell phone signal. So streaming is kind of out of the question. Kathy, was YKB streaming this morning? Like I said, I kind of had to jump through hoops this morning and wasn't able to check out different channels on YouTube. Okay, to the best of my knowledge, Led Zeppelin's not performing, but because John Bottom passed decades ago, but they could be playing with his son. I think that would be pretty big news. Like I said, Kirk wore that T-shirt over a week ago, and I just found out uh, late last night. I was laughing so hard I couldn't get to sleep. And when I checked the music news, uh, I hadn't thought about Lena Horne in a long time, but I remember seeing her perform on TV. Sandra Martin, good morning. Sandra, I hope you're having a great start to your day, and I'm certainly happy that you joined us. Maybe he just meant they were playing on the radio, or they were having some kind of uh, you know movie. A lot of times they'll play video of a band from back in the day. All right. While we've been talking, I tried that one more time. Nope. Well, that didn't work. I'm giving up on the 8 ball. Did you guys have one of those magic 8 balls when you were a kid? I thought they were kind of fun. But I can't quite seem to get the uh, yeah, I mean, statistically, a broke clock is right twice a day. You know that old saying. And good morning to our friends over on Rumble. We're streaming live to both today. Uh, None of Nightbot works in Rumble, but I'm sure they'll get that going one day. The birds sure do seem to be quiet. I have heard that. There were some women in the mountains back when I was a kid that would do that, and sometimes they were really good. There's a lot of things that the mountain people did that were sometimes eerily accurate. I think reading tea leaves is pretty much worldwide. There was this lady I kept hearing about her. I was living in Winston at the time, and I just kept hearing about her, how good she was, how many business people didn't make major decisions without going to her, and I thought, okay, I like to test the system, so to speak. Um, don't tell me you have an open door policy because I'll be walking through that door to test whether or not you're telling the truth, you know? So I kept hearing about her. And back then I had a good job and cash, you know, I could waste a couple of bucks. So I called her up and it was going to cost me like 20 bucks, something like that. This would have been in the early 80s. And I had I had just gotten a new car. So when I drove up, I parked a distance away. I made sure that I wore, you know, just bland clothes so that there would be no clues based on what I was wearing, and I said as absolute little as possible. And I am here to tell you, she did this thing with a regular deck of cards, and she started talking. She said, "I'm going to tell you three things," and I'm here to tell you all three were scarily accurate. Uh, you know, people can get lucky; they can do, you know, pretty good, but some of the stuff was like she was talking. You know, I was in a little two-door car, and like I said, I parked far away, and she was saying that I was looking at a four-wheel drive vehicle, and when I was buying that car, one of the things that I looked at was a GMC Jimmy because I liked those vehicles back then, and they were four-wheel drive available, and that's what I would have got. But so she got that right, and she said that a friend of mine was going to need my support very soon. Said it would be a male friend, and they were going to be needing support badly. And he called me up within 30 days, and him and his wife was getting a divorce. So, yeah, I do, Mr. Lee. I trust my gut. And oh gosh, what was the third thing? Oh, she warned me of a female with dark hair coming into my life. And, you know, I was in my 20s, uh, that's not a stretch. I mean, that's going to happen to just about everybody. Uh, Mr. Lee, humans have that ability. Uh, it's like running a race, though. Some are going to get there fast, and some are not. So, and some people are just really good con artists, and they give the others a bad name. That the waters just get muddied. I mean, even physics they're getting to the point now where they acknowledge what a lot of mystics knew centuries ago. Einstein called it spooky at a distance. Uh, the people in physics today call it what is it? Quantum relationship, where two things are connected at a distance, and if you do something to this material here, the material light years away will instantly do the thing. Oh yeah, Mr. Lee, let me tell you, going back to the dark hair prediction, uh, 5 6 years later, I met a girl with jet black hair, and you talk about a con artist, and being able to instantly read people. Uh, I mean, this person was an absolute expert. I mean, they were able to size people up, and where I would have to talk to them for weeks, they could look at them for a minute or two and tell you more than me talking to them for a long time. And I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt, look for the positive, because there's certainly enough negative in this world. But eventually, it just catches up. Good, the birds come back to life. I guess they were on a coffee break. Yeah, there's more and more people thinking that we're in a simulation, and it sure would account for the Mandela effect. Somebody changes code, and it doesn't get sent out to every leg of the matrix. And it's pretty obvious throughout history, the people that gain power, they are more than willing and more than likely going to try to do things to get the people at odds with one another. Because if you get people at odds with one another, it makes it easier to, lord over them. This one place I went to work, there was a young black girl that ended up sitting next to me, and I'm just a little old mountain man. What you see is what you get, and we had a couple of weeks of training, And one day we were taking a break, and she come up, she sat down, and she said, I didn't think I'd like you, but you're all right. You know, they were just predispositioned to, you know, to because of things they had heard and whatnot. You got to treat everybody as an individual. Yes, Mr. Lee, totally. Um, it is amazing the change in the census. I told you the other day when I took my girlfriend, the first time she had ever been on a motorcycle, and she was in her 40s at the time, and got off the bike, and the first words out of her was, "How do people ride in cars?" If they've ever been on a motorcycle, how do people ride in cars? Oh, Mr. Lee, when I worked second shift and I rode my motorcycle to work, I'd get off work at 11:30, 12 o'clock, something like that, and I would go riding, and I'd ride for a couple of hours. But I was riding, roundabout, but heading toward home. And I just really enjoyed riding at night. Less traffic, cooler temperatures, because obviously I was doing this in the summertime. Oh, Mr. Lee, how goes the football tournaments? Have you been able to get any sleep? I've been enjoying listening to people from around the world talk about Bucky's. Everybody seems to be amazed about Bucky's, the gas station. Mr. Lee, I agree with you about the rain and the snow. Uh, I'm kind of picky. I do not want my baby getting wet. My motorcycles are uh, pampered. If there was a chance they were going to get rained on, nope, not going to happen. I think I told you about the time I went riding with somebody. They had a brand new BMW R 100, I think it was. Anyway, uh, we stopped to visit some people, and we parked the bikes side by side. And My bike was 10 years old. His was brand new, and they come out and looked at them, and all of them was saying, "Wow, these are two brand new bikes. They look great." It's like, nope, my bike's 10 years old. I'm way more picky about motorcycles than cars. My truck could use a bath right now. And now that I live in a place where, yeah, there's crazy drivers, but you don't run into them, back to back to back. I've been getting a hankering to go riding, and that would be kind of neat if I could mount the camera on the handlebars and do some videos riding. Mr. Lee, if you ever got over here and we could go on the Blue Ridge Parkway, uh, we'd have a blast. I think you would love it. It is a scenic byway. The speed limit is 45 miles an hour or below, and it is just a relaxing place to ride. Yeah, Mr. Lee, it is crazy times. But you riding along the Blue Ridge Parkway, it's twisty roads, it's up and down the mountains, and there's pull offs, what they call them, overlooks. And you just pull into a little parking lot, and spectacular views. I mean, you can see for over 100 miles if the weather permits. I'm going to do a video up at Mount Mitchell before the summer's over, I hope. And uh, Mount Mitchell is the highest peak this side of the Mississippi River. It's, I think, 6,700 and some odd feet. I would just use my 360 camera and put it in 180 mode. I could I could put put Kathy Bates on on the handlebars and let her hold the camera. I'm sorry. Yeah, I've got a helmet mount for the 360, not for a motorcycle, but for like a bicycle. I used to helmet mount when I did a hike down to the Dan River because it was a trail that I had never been on, and I wanted to test out the 360 and everything. And I actually did both. I did the 360 and I did the regular uh, camera because it was a short hike. We're getting down to, I think I got my first camera 54 years ago this summer. Wow. And is that the name of his channel, Half Brain American? I'll have to look into that. Um, Mr. Lee, I did photography. I photographed weddings for a while to pay for my equipment, and I've been published in Field and Stream, Ducks Unlimited, magazines like that. And I have had uh, three tra- yeah, three trade uh, uh, magazine covers. Three, I think. Could it be Small Brain American? Because Small Brain American come up. He says inside American ghettos of Okinawa. But I never turned photography into my main source of income. I kept it a hobby. So I am a fairly serious amateur. Grizzly, good morning. I'm taking my last sip of coffee. Mr. Lee, I'll check him out after the show this morning. Grizzly likes living the simple life. I think that's what I made it up for grizzly. Yeah. Okay. See, even Nightbot knows that grizzly. WTF, Mike? Good morning. Mr. Lee, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. I'm always happy to talk about motorcycles. Well, I try. Sometimes, I have to tweak things, Grizzly, but I try. It's like this magic 8 ball. I've piddled around with it during a couple of lives, and I'm still not. I haven't got it quite right. WTF, Mike? Mr. Lee, don't get sunburnt, and I hope your day goes very, very well. So, Mr. Mike, what's on your agenda today? Have you been getting songs together for your concept show? Oh my goodness. If this information is correct, the music channel, this morning's live will be the 100th video on the channel, and 197 people coming to the channel, friends and family. Curse YouTube for calling you subscribers. Ah, Mike. Yeah. Well, good luck with that. I hope it's just general maintenance, new air filter, change the oil, those stupid belts for the self propel. They can be a real, I don't know what. I don't like self propel motors, mowers. I really don't like them. Are you going to sharpen the blade for them also? Roger Blair, good morning. I got lazy about sharpening lawnmower blades. I use a angle grinder to get them close, and then I use a file to finish them off. Isn't that terrible? That's a lazy man's way to do it. But whenever I saw like somebody put a mower out at their front yard for trash to pick up, I would, you know, grab the blade off of them because you never know. It's always a good idea to have a spare blade or two, and I'll have a spare blade sharpened and ready to go. So if anything happens to the blade on the mower, I just switch them out, and then I can sharpen the dull blade whenever I get time. Yeah, no, I I encourage kids every chance I get to uh, learn in school, and if they're doing something positive, I try to support it to the max. Those stupid little videos I did about how to make a toothpick sink or float in water, what happens to marshmallows when they're in a vacuum. Those silly little videos. They're on the Nature Channel, but they're still up. And for some reason, for several months now, the how to lock fold a paper bag, just about every day there'll be 10 people watching that. I mean, it got its views when I first posted it, and then it just nobody watched it for months. And all of a sudden, here in the last few weeks, there's been 20 people every 2 days, about 10 people a day watching it. It's gone from 1,500 to almost 1,800 views, I think. And Roger, since you said that you didn't have anything planned for Saturday, if it's just me and you, I'll do a show Saturday night. After last Saturday, learning that Gene Autry did Blueberry Hill 16 years before it was popular with yeah, that just blew my mind. I just knew the version of Blueberry Hill we all grew up with, or at least I grew up with, was the original because it sounded so good. No problem, Mike. I know how busy you are. Most of the people who come to this channel are busy people. especially the nature channel. That I'm very pleased with the number of people that use it to relax. I was juggling so much this morning, Mike. I had my microphone muted for the first 4 minutes of the show this morning. I was just greeting everybody, wishing them a happy day, talking about music history. And then I noticed, oh, Mike's not on. Whoops. That's good, Mike. Well, just give me a day or two warning, and we'll make that happen. Mike, is this 13-year-old friends of your nieces or nephews, or just a neighborhood kid? We'll, like I said, we'll make that happen. And if you need me, uh, I'll do my best. But when you ran that test on those few songs, I got lucky. Because there's a lot of periods in music that I know little about. Periods and topics. Well, Mike, that makes it all the nicer on you if you're just helping kids in general. Oh, okay. Well, I tell you, Mike, good on you. Uh, Other than changing the oil, they've even made that a hassle. I don't do much anymore. Older cars, I do just about anything to them. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those. Uh, I mean, they do the job, and I know a lot of people like them, but I'm just not a fan of those. But I mean, I'll drive for 15 minutes and come back and start. Like I got to take a skid plate off and get everything set up. So it cools down a little bit, but not much. And then I let it drain, and I mean I let it drain for quite a while. Yeah, they don't. Uh, I, I I put my mower up on the bed of the truck, and then I tilt it. Uh, I take the handle and tilt it down and drain it that way. But you got to kind of turn it on its side also. Roger Blair, yeah, I used to do brake pads all the time, but not for a while. I got to take this call. I'll be back in a minute, but I'll be monitoring chat. Well, that was good. No new bad news. Yeah, that's a good question. How much were the pads, Roger? And speaking of brakes, place I worked for a while, they manufactured the components to make the brakes for Corvettes. Mike, you would have liked to have seen that equipment. It was a 7-axis machine, and it would mill out the parts, both aluminum and iron that was used. It was something to see. You know, most are 3-axis, but man, yeah, 115 is great if even for just the front. I mean, that's 90s prices back in the 90s. I'm trying to think of the last vehicle that I did the brakes on that I owned. And I'm pretty sure I paid $60 for just the pads on the front. I think it was my Kia. That was a 2006 Kia. I did the front brakes on it and the back. I did both. Something about the material they used on the back brakes that they wore out fast. Because most cars, they're the front brakes do the majority of the work stopping the car. Wow. And was that 400 for everything and you doing the work? Yep, that's what I figured. It's outrageous, and the major car manufacturers, they're doing their best to make it so you can't work on it yourself or take it to a shop. They want it where you've got to go back to them. Huh. How many miles is on it that you had to buy rotors? Huh. I would have thought rotors would last longer than that. You know, some of them need to be resurfaced, but learn something new every day. Ah, gotcha. Gotcha. So she ignored the warning chirp. I'd make a joke about that, Mike, but too many people would take it the wrong way. They wouldn't take it as a joke. And she still ignored it. Uh, Mike, when I was young, I did the same thing. That's why my hearing's not 100%. That and pew pews. Uh, when I was when I got a decent job and was able to buy good stereo equipment, I learned to listen at a lower volume because with good stereo equipment, all the sound comes through. You can feel the bass at a low volume with good equipment. But buddy, when I was riding around in the car, I had that volume wide, like just totally wide open. Yeah, but y'all are still young, Mike. If I remember right, both of you are around 50. I remember your birthday, but I don't remember the year. I'm pretty sure your birthday is on the 20th of that month. New door locks. Oh, I got to hear this one, Mike. Why is she getting new door locks and window switches? Oh, this is going to be good. She, if you don't want to type that much, I'll listen in Friday. But I'm going to remind you of this one. I've got to hear this story. That means I was 21 when she was born. And that means you're in your 40s if you're younger than her. Both of you are in your 40s. I don't know why I was putting you around 50. Jeez. She locking and unlocking the doors that much? That's crazy. Three at once. I think I would be looking for something stressing the actuators if three of them went at once. If she's not using them constantly. Jeez. I know you don't want to hear this, but that's one thing about GM products. Uh, their electrical systems aren't necessarily the best in the world. A friend of mine work on Corvettes. Oh, okay. If she's doing it constantly, then that might be the cause. A friend of mine worked on Corvettes, and he counted up. He was working on the electrical, and the Corvette that he had, and I think it was an 80s model, it had 27. I think he said it had 27 different grounds, not a common ground to all 27 systems. I don't know how it did it, but I knew him, and he was pretty good at working on stuff, including electrical. So I took him at his word. But I mean, when you've got a fiberglass body and built for lightweight, I can see why they would do something like that. And you know, that's something about the newer cars that I really don't like. I have no choice on the truck. You got to push a button to lock them. You can't push down a plunger or something like that. Uh, I need to check my lottery ticket. John P. Good morning. Good afternoon, sir. Mike, you can look at it another way. You used them all equally, and they all, almost all, broke at the same time. I think I would replace that fourth one. If you got to replace three, I think I'd replace that fourth one. And the Camaros, well, not just Camaros, but several cars made by GM back in the day, especially Chevrolet. It was fairly common to see them driving around here, and at night, one tail light was much brighter than the other tail light. Yeah, I thought you would, because that, like I said, all of them getting used equally, and three out of the four go. I'd just replace all four. Oh, so you're going to replace her factory stereo? Is it broke, or you just want something different? And I'm pretty sure if it's out there, you'll find it, Mike. Yeah, that's true for a lot of stuff these days. I remember when most cars only had AM radio. My Mustang only had AM radio. I put in a FM converter, which they were cheap. Face the Ace, how you doing, buddy? I see a little difference in Face the Ace channel title there. Uh, I don't know if you were in chat yet, Mike. Did you see where Kirk Hammett, uh, band member for Metallica, he wore a T-shirt making Taylor Swift look like a black-eyed child? The eyes were just blacked out, no color, no white, just black. Said she was a asset of a three-letter alphabet agency. I laughed so hard. Uh, he did it. I think they said over a week ago now, but I just found out about it last night. It was, to me, it was funny. So, hat tip to Kirk today. Sorry, Roger. I think Roger's a little bit of a fan. Yeah, and that's okay. She's got her fans. She does her things. I'm going to stick with Bob Seger, Fleetwood Mac, Journey, Foreigner, Chicago, just to name a few. I keep hoping that Extreme will come out with another album soon. Their last album had two songs that I really like, and it's going on 2 or 3 years old now. Pretty Reckless released a new album. Uh, I think Taylor does a fantastic job singing. She needs to eat a couple of cheeseburgers, though, in my opinion. No, I think they call him Roger Bear because he has that bear keeps coming around. Oh, yeah, we're leaving Swift alone. We're just talking about Kirk Hammett. Make sure I pronounce his name correctly. He's a guitarist for Metallica. And buddy, he got attacked for wearing that T-shirt. The Twitterverse went crazy. Oh, jeez. Yeah, he's got a black bear visiting his home on a regular basis. It seems like so. I think Roger Bear is a good synonym for Roger, and his last name starts with B anyway. Yep, the Candyman. Roger's probably busy doing something. He's just listening. Yep, Mike, you remember that? It was kind of a comedy song, "Running Bear." There was another song, "Running Bear," and then there was "Running Bare." That was popular back in the '60s, late '60s, maybe something like that. I don't even remember who did it. I don't think Roger would be caught like that unless his house caught on fire. But that brings to mind Splish Splash. There you go. I would have had to look that one up, Mike. I like those storytelling jobs. like Kalijah. That was a good song. And once again, you guys have just made the morning rush by. Eh, 6 minute warning. Ah, okay. There is so much material on YouTube. It's hard to keep up with everything. And at the same time, I have to say, it makes me appreciate you guys all the more because so many different places you could be, and you guys choose to spend your time here. I greatly appreciate that. And I've noticed since I've started doing this morning uh, live streams, there's a lot of other people that I know started doing morning live streams. Yes, John P. I got to watch some of it, and I like that. Yeah, she's gotten a lot of flack from other channels. Uh, if I agree with what my grandmother always said, if you don't have something positive to say, just don't say anything. And I know it's hard to do. It's very hard at times, but at the same time, she's smart. She's very smart and well spoken. I like hesitantly say I like her gumption to get out by herself But at the same time, I think she should probably take somebody along with her, because you get out in the woods by yourself at night, you need a set of eyes behind you watching your back, in my opinion. And yes, I know I've gone out in the woods many times by myself, but if I could find somebody willing to go, I would take them. It's just, you're crazy for going out at 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of the woods. But I have fun. What can I say? And John P., after talking to somebody a week or two ago, this is what they said, John P. Yeah, that's true, Mike. I understand what you're saying. I say bad things about politicians and other things all the time, but uh, John P. I saw two bear hiking on the trail some time ago, last couple of weeks, and I still kick myself in the rear end for this. I could not get my camera out fast enough. It was the middle of the day, and there was a lot of people on the trail, and wrong time of day, and too many people for bear to come out. But they did. I didn't get any video, but I was telling somebody about it, and this is what they told me, John P. They said that they saw a bear running down a driveway and across the road in front of them, but it was running on its hind legs. It was very tall, and when they first saw it, they thought it was a man in a gorilla suit. And that's an area that I have been in every 2 or 3 months, and I've never seen anything but them telling that story. I'm kind of going by that area uh, a little more often and trying to find out, uh, trying to find out what I can see. Yeah, but in their mind, that's not what they're thinking. They kept saying how tall it was. They would not say, around here, all we have are black bears. They would not say the fur was black. They said it was dark. And, I tried my best not to ask any leading questions, but, I asked questions and they kept going to, they couldn't believe how tall it was. They couldn't believe how fast it was moving. But in their mind, it was set. It was a bear running on its hind legs. Uh, Mike, last year I think it was, I was doing the 5 peak challenge, and I didn't even have my phone in my hand because I was going to do an 11-mile hike, and I was on the trail and I saw a bear, and I got video of that bear because it wasn't moving very fast, and had time to get the camera out and get probably 10 seconds of video, something like that. But what can I say? These two bear was moving too quick, and it was totally unexpected. Which the one I got the video of was unexpected too, but everything came together. Yeah, John. Well, guys, like I said, I appreciate everybody. I'm going to go end the others. Then I got to go and get ready and get some things done today. So I hope only kind words come your way. And everyone, I really hope you get the day that you deserve. You guys take care, and we will catch you next time.